This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Breaking overnight gunfire on the west side. Coming up, what we know so far about a shooting that left a man wounded at an apartment complex.
I feel like I'm left in the dark with nothing. Like nobody wants to help me. Nobody wants to help my mom.
A family wants answers. Just ahead, a daughter shares her story, hoping it will help investigators find the person who killed her mother.
And Columbus, Indiana is known around the world for its architecture. Coming up in Hiring Hoosiers, how high school students are getting in on the ground floor of what could be a lucrative career in that field. It's 6 o'clock on your Friday Eve. Thanks for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. Todd Clausen is with us to talk about another great day in the forecast. I wish every day in August could be like this, Todd.
All right, let's just bottle them up and save them. Here we are.
You're ready for the holiday weekend,
right? Except I'm working. So. But nonetheless, yeah, it was a beautiful day yesterday, and we're going to continue to roll that over here into our day today. As you walk out the door this morning, it's a little cooler actually this morning than it was yesterday morning, so you want the light jacket, and sunrise just over an hour and 10 minutes away. You'll definitely want to have the sunglasses handy throughout the day today. Temperatures this morning dipping down into the 50s in all locations, with the exception of Muncie at 60 degrees. That's because the skies are clear, but you do notice off to our west now, few little storms flaring up near Omaha, some more in northern Minnesota. That's a front that's going to be dropping through late tonight. So we're completely dry and completely sunny through the daylight hours today. Notice the temperatures this morning warm really quickly. 63 degrees at 9 a.m., 76 degrees by the noon hour. And then as we transition into the afternoon, just a little more in the way of cloud cover, eventually a high of 83 degrees. Any rain chances will hold off until after sunset. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic. This is a live look at your commute on the south side, I-65 and I-465, the interchange down there. Traffic is picking up, as you can see by all the headlights moving across your screen, but it is moving up to speed, so that's great news if that's part of your morning drive. Let's take a look at our traffic now map. Planning out your drive, we do want to look at drive times coming in from the airport, heading to downtown, just a 12-minute commute from Ronald Reagan Parkway to I-65 at the south split. No issues there. And just a heads up, we just got an alert from the Boone County Sheriff on Twitter. They're telling us that I-65 northbound near mile marker 136, they have an accident in that area, so we'll be continuing to follow that. Traffic may be restricted for the next hour or so, so we'll keep you updated on that as we learn more information.
Breaking news from overnight, a 29-year-old man is recovering after a shooting at an apartment complex on the west side. This happened just after midnight at the Wildwood Village Apartments on Timbers Edge Drive near Guyon Road. Right now, we do not know what led to the gunfire, and police tell us the victim is not cooperating with investigators. We will continue to work to find out more, and we'll have updates for you as soon as we get them.
Family members are offering a $500 reward for information on a deadly hit and run. The victim's daughter returned home to the site of her mother's body after the crash.
When I seen the yellow tape, I saw a person half covered, but I knew from the pants and the feet that was my mom.
Well, it's been more than 3 weeks since a driver hit and killed 62-year-old Pamela Bonilla when she walked along Brookville Road on the east side of Indianapolis. Her daughter says that her mother was her best friend. She hopes by speaking publicly, someone will come forward to help catch the killer.
I pray to God the police works hard and not give up on my mom. I don't want them to give up on her. Because it wasn't her time to go. Someone literally took her from us. And we're all suffering for it.
Police released this picture of the vehicle that hit Pamela. It's a black GMC Envoy with tinted windows. If you have any information on this case, please call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
We now know when the funeral will be held for the brother and sister who were shot and killed last Friday inside their northeast side apartment. A joint service will be held for 16-year-old Nicholas Nelson and his 15-year-old sister Ashlyn on Saturday, September 7th at Mount Carmel Baptist Church at 1 o'clock. Visitation will begin at 11 that morning. A 15-year-old is currently being charged with the murders of both siblings.
A bicyclist in Hancock County is dead after he was hit by a suspected drunk driver. Investigators say that Roger Wellenreiter of Greenfield was hit from behind while riding on the countryside of Northwest Greenfield on 300 North. The crash happened late Wednesday morning. The driver of the vehicle was Robert Terry. The sheriff's office tells us that Terry was driving while intoxicated and also with a suspended license.
Yet another attempt to restrict abortion in Indiana has been blocked by the courts. This week, a federal appeals court upheld a lower court ruling blocking a parental consent abortion law passed 2 years ago from taking effect. The law required girls under the age of 18 to have written consent from a parent before obtaining an abortion. Girls can seek a waiver by proving to a judge they are mature enough to make a decision on an abortion, but the 2017 law would have removed that option. That was the reason the ACLU and Planned Parenthood sued the state.
Every year since 2016 and twice in 2016, we've up to now, some of them once in the Supreme Court, one was just decided. Here we have preliminary injunction, so there's more to be done. But in every single instance, we've had success in stopping laws from going into effect.
5 Indiana abortion laws in the past 4 years have been either partially blocked or overturned entirely after ACLU lawsuits. The state attorney general's office has not said whether it will appeal the ruling to the Supreme Court.
It is 6:05. We now know more about a controversy surrounding a ceremony to sign a veterans bill into Indiana law. Governor Holcomb held a ceremonial signing for that law on August 5th. It helps military vets and their spouses by exempting their retirement income and survivor's benefits from state income tax. However, a Democratic state lawmaker and vets from several organizations involved in getting the legislation passed tell us they were left out of the ceremony. They say the governor only appeared to invite his Republican allies. Well, a spokesperson for the governor says that this event was actually open to the public and no one was told that they were not welcome. You can read more from both sides of the issue by visiting the RTV6 app and also the IndyChannel.com.
2 former daycare providers must pay $22,000 in restitution over the death of a toddler in their care that happened 6 years ago. A jury convicted Daniel and Sandy Wall of involuntary manslaughter. Prosecutors say they failed to fix a broken baby gate where a toddler became wedged and died. The couple operated the Home Away from Home daycare in Fortville. They have already served a 9-month prison sentence. Lucas Oil Stadium, Regents Tower, the Indiana State House, they were all created by architects and builders.
Yeah, students are working to get into that field in construction and architecture. And so our Aaron Lish is joining us live this morning from Columbus to show us how C4 students are getting classroom to career ready while using their creativity. Hey, Aaron.
Good morning. So we're at a very new art installation here. And what's neat about this was all designed and built by students through C4's architecture and construction programs. In the architecture side, students will figure out obstacles they could face at a site, analyze the space they're using, know what materials they'll have to use, and then ultimately come up with the drawings and present their ideas like this one. And then the construction crew, they will help make some of those come to life. They actually build houses for people here in Columbus. They've built a baseball complex and, of course, pieces of art. Students say this gives them a way to tell future employers that they have more than just classroom experience and they can show them actual work here in the community.
It's different between sitting in a classroom, a traditional classroom with books and papers and pencils and such. You know, we're actually out there doing it, and once you actually do it with your hands, you're going to have a lot more knowledge to do it later on in life.
So they do get dual credits for these programs as well as National Accredited Construction and OSHA certifications. And they wanted this piece to look like the heart of Columbus. And all these installations here with the designs, they are actually with solar panels to light them all up. And the pillars that are closer together represent the inside of Columbus. And the farther you go out, it actually represents the rural parts of the area here. So very neat concept. And we're going to have a little bit more from them in the next half hour and how this is helping shape their future. Back to you in the studio.
Aaron, thanks so much. Indianapolis Animal Care Services is dealing with more overcrowding, and that means all adoptions are free this month. That includes spay, neuter, vaccines, and microchipping. If you don't have room in your home for a new pet, there are other ways you can help the shelter.
We do have a foster program where you can take an animal into your home temporarily to free up some cage space. You can also volunteer at the shelter. Volunteers were critical on Saturday to help our staff get everybody cleaned and to help monitor. Donations are always needed.
The shelter held a special event yesterday after being forced to close on Saturday to prevent a canine virus from spreading. To find normal shelter hours and more information, you can go to the RTV6 app and search IACS. It's 6:09 though. Let's toss things over to Todd for a check of today's forecast.
Yeah, it's a cool morning for us as you walk out the door. Temperatures are in the 50s anywhere you go across the area, with some locales to the north getting close to this actual 50-degree mark. Everybody else is kind of in the mid to upper 50s. To put that kind of in perspective, we haven't really seen temperatures this widespread, this cool so far this late summer season. So you may be a little shocked when you walk out the door this morning. Good news is, with clear skies, we warm up really, really quickly. Eventually, a weak front to our north will increase the cloud cover a little bit as we head throughout the afternoon and evening hours. But overall, it's a great day. High temperatures will be climbing up into the low to mid 80s. 85 in Lafayette, 83 in Indianapolis, and it'll be a beautiful night for a run. The 317 race is up in Carmel this evening, up in West Clay. Mostly sunny to start, 78 degrees. Increasing clouds this evening will prevent the temperatures from dropping quickly once the sun sets. Should be in the 70s through about 8 o'clock this evening.
Throw your hands up. But I wrote the damn bill. You don't know that. Second, I wrote the damn bill. But
who will have the chance to become the next breakout meme or GIF in the next Democratic presidential debate? Coming up, the 10 candidates who will square off next month here on RTV6.
And you'll be smiling at the career opportunities in the dental industry. Next, in Hiring Future, students getting hands-on training to learn how to keep those pearly whites nice and sparkly.
And Meredith, we are monitoring a traffic issue up in Boone County, the Lebanon area, just a little south of that. You can see here a semi-crash blocking at least 2 left lanes of traffic. This is northbound I-65. Traffic at a crawl as it has to scooch all the way over to 1 right lane at this hour. We'll continue to keep a close eye out on these delays, but a heads up if you normally travel through that area for your morning commute. It's very backed up at this time. We'll be right back after the break.
36 months, I'm Morano.
Welcome back. It is 6:14 and we are monitoring a traffic alert for drivers who are traveling on I-65 northbound through Boone County. You can see a semi-crash cleanup here blocking the left lanes of the northbound interstate, causing drivers to have to scooch over into that 1 right lane. It's causing some major delays, just a parking lot on there. This is just a little south of Lebanon, so a heads up if that's part of your morning commute or even your Labor Day travels. We'll continue to keep you updated as this clears up later this morning. Well, students looking to get into the dental field can get their training early while they're still in high school.
Anderson Career Center offers a program that allows students to get base knowledge of dentistry. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. Alyssa, students can leave this program with a certification, job prospects, and probably a pearly white smile.
That's right, Meredith. That's exactly what they are leaving with. The instructor tells me that she's had students that were hired right when they graduate. The main focus of this program is for jobs in dental assisting, but she says it also lays the groundwork for anyone looking to further their career, move on to college for any jobs in the dental field.
Sydney Spaeth and her classmates are learning dental basics at the Anderson Career Center.
I've learned numbers of the teeth. I've learned the surfaces, the pits of the teeth.
So I have students that actually want to end up being doctors, hygienists, assistants. It's kind of our main focus.
By completing this program, students can get hired as dental assistants right out of high school. Spaeth wants to be a dental hygienist, so she'll have to go on to college. But the program gives her some credits and a base knowledge of dentistry.
They're learning dental equipment, dental vocabulary, and then also we have the seat work as well every day. It's kind of a mixture. I do workstations so that we can do a full content within a year.
It just gives me more of an advantage. I know more stuff when I go to get my prereqs.
Giving Spaeth and her classmates a head start on their careers in the dental field.
And students who are in the program for 2 years can move on and get an externship where they shadow those in the dental field already to find out if this career is right for them. They can also go on to get a national certification, which will help them get hired in the future. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Sounds like a great opportunity. Thank you, Alyssa. We now know that there will only be one Democratic presidential debate next month. 10 candidates qualified for the debate based on the polling and fundraising rules set by the Democratic Party. It means we will see the front-running candidates all on the same stage, including Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg. Joining them will be 5 candidates who barely qualified based on the recent polls: Beto O'Rourke, Andrew Yang, Cory Booker, Amy Klobuchar, and Julian Castro. The debate will be held September 12th in Houston, Texas, and you can watch it right here on RTV6.
Well, the east coast of the United States now bracing for Hurricane Dorian, as forecasters say it could become a major hurricane by the time it gets to the U.S. mainland. On Wednesday, the storm lashed the U.S. and British Virgin Islands with the heavy rains. Power even knocked out to all of the British Virgin Islands briefly. The storm was expected to make a direct hit on Puerto Rico, but forecasters say it actually shifted and missed the island just to the east. Florida's governor has now issued a state of emergency as the storm could arrive by this weekend. And Todd has a look at Dorian's track right now.
Yeah, it's a Category 1 storm with winds that are sustained right now at 85 miles per hour. The next update will come out here in just a little bit on Dorian, but it's going to stay out in the Atlantic, strengthen probably to at least a Category 2, maybe Category 3 storm over the next 24 hours. Next 24 hours probably not going to impact any land masses. That is good news. And then it's going to move through the northern Bahamas as potentially a Category 3 storm, and then set its eyes somewhere on the Florida coast by the time we get to early Monday morning with sustained winds around 125 miles per hour. This is the official track from the Hurricane Center. Some models want to curve it up more towards Jacksonville and Savannah, Georgia, so that's something we'll have to keep an eye on. And you can see the last few frames here as it moves across Florida, kind of picks up a little bit of a northerly component, and then I think it's going to turn and head up the East Coast. So I do not think at this point it's going to have much of an impact on us here in central Indiana, but obviously a lot of us have friends, family, vacation down in Florida, so certainly of interest here in the next coming days. Sky's starting to brighten as you look to the north, start of what's going to be an absolutely beautiful day for us once again. 57 degrees, that's the temperature here in Indianapolis, one of the cooler mornings we've seen in a while, and outlying areas are in the 50s as well. 54 in Greencastle, 53 in Greensburg, 57 is the current temperature in Richmond. So those temperatures, they're in the 50s. You may want the light jacket, but we're going to warm real quick with clear skies, and then we'll just wait on this cold front that is to the north. That's going to drop down to the south. What it's going to do for our weather is increase the clouds late tonight, and then eventually overnight give us the chance of a spot shower or maybe even a thunderstorm, but completely sunny through the 2 o'clock hour, 79 degrees. And then high temperatures today will be climbing up into the low 80s for us with a mixture of sun and clouds. So here's how it plays out for you hour by hour. You notice the quick warm up on our graph here from the 50s to the 60s to the 70s and into the 80s today. So this evening, the clouds will increase. We remain dry. Any outdoor plans are just fine. 8:21 is sunset, but with the clouds in place this evening, temperatures will stay in the 70s. We don't have that big time cool off like we did last night. And then here come those shower chances. Really, it's from Lafayette to Peru and points to the north that you have the chance of a shower overnight tonight. Otherwise, everybody else is going to be partly cloudy. What about the holiday weekend, you ask? Well, there will be some minor rain chances Saturday and Sunday, but do not cancel any plans. It's only probably about a 20% chance of a shower or thunderstorm, so I wouldn't really bank on it at this point. And then Labor Day itself looks to be mostly sunny with a high temperature of 84 degrees.
All right, Todd, we have a traffic alert for drivers in Boone County on Interstate 65. Take a look here. Momentarily, they are stopping all traffic here in the northbound lanes. You see a person there in the one open lane that's to the right. This is a semi-crash cleanup on the left lanes of the northbound interstate. Now, this area is between State Road 267 and just a little south of State Road 39. So as you're heading towards Lebanon, you can see traffic is slowly getting by to the right lanes, but it is a parking lot just south of there. So a heads up if you're trying to get northbound right now. Let's take a look at this on our map so you can see exactly where this out. You see the red on your screen. That's the area where it is moving very slowly as you're heading up to exit 138. We'll continue to monitor this, and our Shea Goodpaster is on the way in live drive, so we'll let you know when things start moving back back up to speed.
Our Trending 6 is next on Good Morning Indiana, and we told you about the biggest song in the history of the music charts getting a CMA nomination. Well, a school district put a spin on the hit song to welcome students back to class, and we'll get a preview.
Reading, writing, math, wow, drama, sports, and...
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Monitoring this traffic alert for drivers in Boone County. This is I-65, a semi-crash here in the left northbound lanes is what you're looking at in the center of your screen. Traffic shifting over to that one right lane, but it is stop and go on the northbound interstate. Give yourself extra time. It's very slow starting all the way back to State Road 267.
Before you head out the door, however, it is time for the Trending 6.
Yeah, the real song just got nominated for a CMA award, and now there's yet another remix of Old Town Road we want to show you, but this road leads to the schoolhouse.
They've been playing Fortnite, time to get up off that couch, right? We are gonna teach you something. We hope they're learning something.
Well, the staff at Shores Creek Community Schools in Michigan welcoming students back with their version of Old Town Road. Okay, is this cool or cringe-inducing?
Probably depends on what grade you're in.
I feel like it's super cool.
It is now Professor Matthew McConaughey.
Okay.
The communications school at the University of Texas has made the Oscar winner a professor of practice to the Department of Radio, Television, and Film. The UT grad has been a visiting instructor there since 2015, teaching a film production class that he developed. All right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, it sort of looked like pinball last night in Philadelphia. Rhys Hoskins of the Phillies hits one to left field, but watch as the ball takes a long roll across the railing before the fence, bouncing back into the field of play there. Well, it turned into a unique double as the Phillies beat the Pirates 12-3.
Okay, if you're doing a grapefruit diet, you need to go to Louisiana and see Mary Beth and Doug Meyer. That's because earlier this year, the couple grew a 7-pound, 14-ounce grapefruit in Louisiana. It's more than 28 inches around. The Guinness Book of World Records says the fruit broke 2 records. This is now the heaviest grapefruit ever and also the largest grapefruit by circumference.
There you go.
I'm not
huge.
a grapefruit fan, so.
No, me neither.
Somebody else can have it.
Someone can have it, yeah. Well, a man got more than he bargained for a running of the Bulls event in Spain, because men usually do when they decide to take on the Bulls. Well, we're not going to show you the video because it is way too graphic for the men here at RTV6. Sorry, guys. The man tried to jump over a fence to avoid the bull, but he got his leg tangled, and he was repeatedly gorged below the belt, we'll say. Well, the mayor of the town, Cuellar, Spain, says the victim is in the hospital and is stable. Youch.
A New Hampshire woman won her battle with the state to keep this vanity license plate. You read the plate there on your screen. It's the message every mother has for their kids before a long car trip. You know what? Just getting in the car in general. The state of New Hampshire had banned Wendy Auger from having the plate because it said it contained a phrase related to, well, going to the bathroom. Auger said she's had the plate for 15 years and other drivers seem to love it. She appealed, and yesterday the governor of New Hampshire messaged Auger to tell her she can keep the plates.
Her kids are just cringing probably right now.
Yes, that would be very cringeworthy.
Oh, goodness sakes. That's so funny. All right. Well, we do want to talk about our forecast for today. A lot of people have been talking about how beautiful it's been here in Indiana.
It has. You know, we started off the week wet. Yesterday was a spectacular day, and as you get in your car here and drive off this morning, no issues whatsoever. Green lights for you straight across the board. Just grab those sunglasses. It is on the cool side here this morning with temperatures that are in the 50s, and then the green light for the drive home as well, with mostly sunny skies and highs eventually that top off in the low 80s. We'll take another look at your 7-day planning forecast coming up in the next half hour when Good Morning Indiana continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Boy Furniture Galleries. Live life comfortably.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
From perfecting your smile to designing some of the most iconic buildings in our communities. Now at 6:30, Hiring Hoosiers is looking at unique programs getting your students classroom to career ready.
Plus, a first grader leaves school and gets hit by a car. This morning, why his mother says the school should have been watching him more closely.
And a string of violence on the city's east side has neighbors saying enough is enough. What they say needs to be done to help stop the violence. It's 6:30 here on your Thursday morning. Thanks for starting this beautiful day with us. I'm Meredith Barrett.
And I'm Lauren Casey. We want to bring in Todd Clausen to give us all the details on our forecast for this Thursday. And it's a day you're going to want to get outside.
You know, if you didn't take advantage of yesterday, you got a bonus day here. So if you can't take advantage of today, we do have some changes heading our way late tonight. But this afternoon is going to be spectacular. This morning, a little on the cool side, but the sun now starting to come up. And it's a beautiful morning, really, across the area. You may need a light jacket for some of you, but these temperatures that I'm going to show you, they're going to start to warm really, really quick once we get into that 8, 9 o'clock hour and beyond. 55 in Lafayette, 54 in Columbus, a lot of 50s here in and around the metro area. New Pal, you're at 53 degrees, and it's 57 as you make your way into the Plainfield area. So skies are completely clear this morning. There's a front off to our northwest. That front will increase the cloud cover a little bit later on this afternoon, but let's get you out the door first this morning. 59 here at 8 a.m., but already up to 77 degrees as we head into the noon hour. We'll talk about the rest of today and your holiday weekend in just a few minutes, Lauren.
All right, Todd, and this is another look at that semi-crash cleanup we've been monitoring in Boone County. In the northbound lanes of I-65, it's blocking the left lanes here, and traffic is sliding over to that one right lane. Still getting past this crash scene, but it is pretty backed up there this morning. This is a little south of Lebanon as you're approaching State Road 39. The backup stretches all the way to State Road 267. And our own Shay Goodpaster is just heading past Zionsville in the northbound interstate, going to get a look at the backup and more from this scene. We can tell you about 4 miles or so before State Road 39, the traffic starts to slow down to about 14 miles per hour. Once you get past that area, past State Road 39, everything picks back up. We'll continue to check in with Shay as he gets closer to that scene.
But today in Hiring Hoosiers, there are so many options for careers in the dentistry field. One career center is giving students the knowledge they need to get started.
That's right. The Anderson Career Center Dental Program is a way to prepare students for the industry, whether they want to be a dental assistant, a hygienist, or even a dentist. Our own Alyssa Donovan is joining us live this morning. And Alyssa, the instructor says students can get hired right out of her program.
That's right, Lauren. And the main job this program focuses on is being a dental assistant. And those are the jobs those kids can get right when they graduate from this program at the Anderson Career Center. The instructor says, though, that many will go on to college to further their careers in the dental field. Students in the program are learning dental basics like numbers of the teeth, surface pits of the teeth, vocabulary, and dental equipment. The class is part lecture and part hands-on training. Students in the class also have the opportunity to do an externship where they go shadow local dental professionals and learn exactly what the job they're interested in is like. Students in the program say they feel it's preparing them for their careers.
If you're thinking about going into dental, I highly recommend going into one of these programs. It's amazing. Just being in a small classroom like this and learning the basics.
The instructor says along with working in the dental field, students can go on to be office managers or lab technicians as well. And those in the program that go on for 2 years in the program can actually also get a national health and safety certification. That just makes them more employable when they graduate. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Very cool, Alyssa. Thank you so much. We want to continue looking into ways that kids can step into the workforce fully prepared as they get classroom to career ready. Students are getting creative down in the city of Columbus through architecture and construction. Our own Aaron Lish joins us live there this morning with how C4 programs are helping them to design and build. And Aaron, the work they're doing isn't just in the classroom.
Absolutely not. I mean, check this out. This artwork is Exhibit Columbus Density, and students, they actually designed and built this, and this gives them a chance to show employers actual work instead of just concepts.
Go ahead whenever you're ready.
C4 students learn how to design and build through the architecture and construction programs.
Taught me a lot. I didn't know much coming into this, and I feel like I'm ready to go, and I can go work in carpentry.
Along with building homes, students also create public art within the city of Columbus.
The kids see a real opportunity now that we can give back to the community and do our coursework at the same time.
They develop presentations of their designs, and this one, Exhibit Columbus, has gone from paper to reality.
It's going to be super cool because people will be coming to visit Columbus just to see what we've created.
For some students, they want to be a double threat, knowing both architecture and construction to have a stronger background heading into a career.
I decided to take the architecture program so that I would know computer work and the CAD and all that so that I could understand it whenever I want to do. And then I'm taking the construction class this year so that I know like the manual labor and everything.
Through the program, students can get college credit, national construction, and OSHA certifications.
You get the bottom, take the bottom that way.
They're getting hands-on experience, preparing them for the world after high school.
We're actually out there doing it, and once you actually do it with your hands, you're going to have a lot more knowledge to do it later on in life.
So I was talking with these students, and they decided to put this around a tree so people remember more about nature when they are building cities, because this represents, these tall pillars represent the heart of the city, and all of these pictures here represent the diversity that Columbus has. They're also lit up by solar panels, and then when you go out farther from here, they also have these pillars that are a little bit farther apart. That represents the rural parts of the area here. So really neat concept and a way that kids can get creative while doing something that could further their career. Back to you guys in the studio.
Aaron, thank you. At 6:37, we continue to follow breaking news from overnight. A 29-year-old man is recovering after being shot on the city's west side. The shooting happened just after midnight on Timbers Edge Drive. That's in the Wildwood Village apartment complex near 38th and Guyon Road. Authorities tell RTV6 they aren't sure what led to the gunfire, and they also tell us the victim is not cooperating with police. An Indianapolis mother says her son's school failed her after he got hit by a car.
And this morning, school district officials say that they followed the proper protocol. Well, now RTV6 is working to get answers. The car hit 7-year-old Frank Barnett after he ran from IPS Stephen Foster School 67 on the west side Monday afternoon. He suffered a concussion and needed nearly 50 stitches, but is recovering at home this morning. The first grader has autism, and according to his individualized education program, he's never to be left alone.
He gets curb-to-curb services due to the autism. And when he gets into one of them little moods, depending on what happened at that time of the incident, he runs. And they're all aware of this. It's stated in his IEP, which I do have, that he's to never be left unattended. He's always got to be with an adult, which he was not.
Indianapolis Public Schools tells RTV6 Frank broke away from a staff member and ran out of the building. School administrators immediately called IPS police as they searched for him.
This morning, Eastside residents are asking for more resources that they say can make their community safer. This comes after a week of devastating violence on the east side. Neighbors say the lack of development in their neighborhood contributes to crime. Now they want the city to change its priorities. Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett says he's listening to the cries for more investment on this Indy's east side, where he says investment is already a priority.
Whether it's investing in food security, food access, whether it's investing in affordable housing, whether it's the efforts that we're making to tear down Town Terrace and the other apartment, Oak Tree Apartments out on Post Road. Those are investments that are improving the quality of life and the quality of place in the Far East Side.
Mayor Hogsett and Chief Roach say their ultimate message behind the walk is that public safety cannot just be the responsibility of police. They say it takes an entire community. Funeral arrangements have been made for Nicholas and Ashlyn Nelson, the teenage siblings who were shot and killed in their East Side home last week. The family will hold one funeral for the brother and sister at Mount Carmel Baptist Church on September 7th. You can donate to the family through Fifth Third Bank or by bringing gift cards or fuel or food to 2 different East Side locations. You can find all of that information on the IndyChannel.com.
One suspect accused of eating pizza after robbing and killing a delivery driver has been ordered to spend decades in jail. 19-year-old Jawan Terry pleaded guilty to murder in the death of Levon Drake in August of last year. A judge sentenced Terry to 60 years in prison with 10 years suspended. 2 other suspects are scheduled to go to trial later this year. Police say Terry told investigators that 3 men forced Drake into a house near 38th Street and German Church Road on the east side of Indianapolis, took the pizza, shot him, and robbed him.
A federal appeals court sides with critics of an Indiana law saying it legally removed voters' names from the dockets. Tuesday, the Chicago-based 7th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals upheld a federal judge's ruling last year, blocking the Indiana law from taking effect. The law would have allowed local election authorities to immediately purge voter registrations if the program, called Interstate Voter Registration Crosscheck, found a duplicate registration in another state for that person. The group, Common Cause Indiana, says the cross-check system is unreliable. This week's ruling says Indiana law wrongly allowed registration purges without voter notification. Okay, it is 6:41, and I don't know what is behind Todd, because it is supposed to be time for the dog walking forecast, or have we canceled that because no one can get cuter than yesterday's dog, Mason?
Well, Ruben's really cute, and I'm going to show you Ruben in a second.
Good.
But the sunrise is spectacular this morning as well, so I just wanted to kind of set the scene for the day today and then lead into the dog walking forecast. Just beautiful here this morning as the sun comes up with our great city here in the skyline. This shot is from IMS on the Pagoda camera, and here you go, Meredith. Here is your dog walking forecast, and here is Ruben so just sitting there in the lawn in the sunshine, just chilling there. And Diana says Ruben likes to bring rocks to her all the time. So she says it could be a lot worse, but she adopted Ruben, so they're great to see. And Ruben's going to enjoy the weather today, as will all the other dogs out there. Green Paws from start to finish today, 57 at 7 a.m., eventually climbing all the way up into the 80s later on this afternoon, so we will warm a lot quicker. Late tonight, there are some small chances for some rain. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, Todd, thank you. Hurricane Dorian continues to churn in the Caribbean this morning. Straight ahead, we're looking at the damage left in the Virgin Islands and where the storm is headed next.
And are you still looking to get tickets to Florida Georgia Line Fest? Well, we have your chance to win tickets to that show, and you just need to watch for your cue to call in coming up in the next few minutes right here on RTV6. We'll be right back.
At Value City Furniture.
Clothing retailer Forever 21 may be getting ready to file for bankruptcy. Bloomberg News is reporting that the company is preparing for a Chapter 11 filing. Forever 21 has been working with consultants in an effort to restructure its debt. The company has also been trying to get additional financing, but so far nothing has come through. Bloomberg says bankruptcy could actually help Forever 21's bottom line because it would be able to recapitalize and get rid of stores that aren't making money. Forever 21 currently has more than 800 stores around the world.
Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden is making his intentions clear about choosing a running mate. The former vice president said he wants to pick someone who is a person of color or a woman. Biden made the comments Tuesday while speaking to a roundtable of black journalists. He says he won't make a commitment to a running mate until he has someone he can trust. In early August, Biden says that he could immediately think of 4 women he would consider for VP.
Hurricane Dorian continues to strengthen this morning. The storm pounded the U.S. and British Virgin Islands and now has its eyes on the southeastern U.S. Downed trees blocked roads and streets filled with water as the storm churned over St. Thomas. Hurricane Dorian pushes north now and back into the warm, open waters of the Atlantic Ocean. And meteorologists warned the storm could strengthen into a major hurricane. This morning, officials in Florida and Georgia are bracing for the worst.
We're not exactly sure where the storm is going to go, but you need to start preparing now if you're in the coastal communities.
Florida's governor has already declared a state of emergency and says people should have at least 7 days worth of supplies ready, including food, water, and medicine. And our Todd Clausen is standing by right now. Thankfully, this won't impact our weather at all here, but you have to think of those people that are down in the southeastern states and how often they go through this and the toll it takes on all of them.
Yeah, you know, the preparations, you know, the anxiety, where it's going to hit, because, you know, a few miles makes a real big difference with these storms when they make landfall. And so many people here in central Indiana have friends and family in Florida travel there. So let's talk about it for a second. This is the satellite loop of Dorian over the past 3 hours. Here is Puerto Rico. So it's emerged now out into the Atlantic with sustained winds right now at 85 miles per hour. The next update's coming out shortly from the National Hurricane Center. It's expected to strengthen into a Category 2 storm and eventually even a Category 3 storm by this time tomorrow. But over the next 24 hours, it's out over open water. It's not going to impact land. As we get into the weekend, Saturday into Sunday, it approaches the Bahamas and then potentially Florida early Monday morning. So this is the Labor Day holiday weekend in Florida. Well, obviously everywhere, but a lot of people may be out and about down there, and you're maybe traveling there. Category 3 storm moving in early Monday somewhere along the Florida coast. Some models want to bring it up more towards Georgia into South Carolina. Those have kind of been outliers, but this track has changed a little bit over the past 24 to 36 hours, so we'll continue to keep an eye on it for you and let you know as it approaches Florida. But again, not expecting any impact here in central Indiana. All that moisture should eventually just move up the East Coast. Here, it's a beautiful morning in progress for us. Lots of sunshine. What a great looking shot that is from IMS looking back off towards the east. 57 in Indy right now, 60 in Muncie, 58 in Bloomington. So you kind of need probably a light jacket here this morning as you walk out the door, at least for the next hour or two. And after that, temperatures will start to warm really, really quick. So mostly sunny this morning. Eventually, this cold front drops to the south, and that'll bring some minor rain chances into parts of the area late tonight and then into the overnight hours. But the daytime hours are just fine. 60s here already by 10 a.m., mid-70s by the noon hour, low 80s as we head into the afternoon for your high temperature. This evening, you don't have too many more opportunities to head to Victory Field if you want to catch a baseball game, and tonight would be a great night. You do notice the temperatures do not drop off as quick this evening, and that's due to the cloud cover that will increase. And I mentioned that shower chance. Again, overnight, it's not a great chance here in northern locations, but we'll mention as this weak cold front comes through the opportunity for a few showers. And then for tomorrow, partly cloudy skies. A few spotty showers could sneak in to southern locations late Friday into Saturday. But overall, tomorrow is a decent day for us with partly cloudy skies and a high temperature right around 80 degrees. You'll see the storm chances I have in this forecast for Saturday and Sunday as well, but it's just a spot storm chance. Do not cancel any holiday plans. Then Labor Day itself and beyond features temperatures in the 80s with plenty of sunshine.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Well, we do have a little bit of good news. Take a look here from our live drive vehicle, our Shea Goodpaster behind the wheel. This is a dash cam view. He's traveling northbound on I-65, and we're told that he's just a little bit south of State Road 39. We still have a semi-crash cleanup in that area in the left lanes, but you can see here everything is moving along up to speed. So that backup is just a small backup at this hour, and then you should be back on your way as you're traveling through Lebanon this morning. Of course, we'll continue to check in with him as he gets closer to that scene.
The start of a new school year can be especially dangerous for college students. More than half of college sexual assaults happen from the start of the school year through November. That's according to the Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network. Students in their first and second semesters are most at risk. Experts say newer students might not know what resources are available to them. Students can also worry how it might affect their social lives.
These are students who are making new friends. They're expanding their social circle, and we know that 8 out of 10 rapes are committed by a perpetrator known to the victim.
The Me Too movement has encouraged more survivors to come forward, and there is a national sexual assault hotline, 1-800-656-HOPE. It is staffed 24/7 to help victims get the resources available.
Well, the next generation of public transit will launch in Indianapolis this weekend with the Red Line. Ahead in our Throwback Thursday, we're going to look back at the big transit news rolling into the Circle City back in the year 1984.
And you have waited long enough. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to FGL Fest and the Big Machine Vodka 400 at the Brickyard. The events are next Saturday and Sunday at IMS. You do have to be the 6th caller right now to win. Call 317-269-1459 for your chance. Good luck, and we'll be right back.
Years and counting on RTV6.
Well, a football team at Lyon College in Batesville, Arkansas is showing one of their coaches that they really care about him. And they're doing it by shaving their heads. Offensive coordinator Chris Sweet was recently diagnosed with cancer. The players lined up one by one to hug the coach and share their support. It was an emotional, tear-filled moment for many there. Members posted the special event online with the hashtag #SweetStrong. The team kicks off its season this Saturday.
It is that time of the week once again where we dive into the RTV6 vaults and take a look into the past.
Indigo is expected to roll out the next generation of public transit this weekend with the Red Line.
The buses for the Red Line are electric articulated buses, meaning they bend in the middle.
Well, back in February of 1984, Metro Bus, now Indigo, rolled out the first articulated buses in the Circle City. Former RTV6 reporter Linda Lupier hopped on board and got that first-hand look at these unique buses.
We feel that the addition of these vehicles really adds a new dimension to the flexibility of transit in Indianapolis.
Well, the transit company bought 21 of these new buses.
Metro Bus said each coach could haul 72 passengers and cost $250,000 each. You can watch more of this story at theindychannel.com/history.
That's where you can also find all of our other Throwback Thursday stories. And hey, we mentioned the Red Line in this throwback story. Well, you'll have your chance to ride the rapid transit line starting this Sunday. But before you do, we're working for you, taking you inside the Red Line. Call 6 Investigates Rafael Sanchez taking a closer look at how this new system will impact everyone who's traveling in Marion County. You can catch our 30-minute special tonight at 7 o'clock, and that's only here on RTV6. But right now, as we start our Thursday, we do want to get a check of our great forecast with Todd.
Yeah, you need a couple things as you walk out the door this morning. The sunglasses, not necessarily right now, but you'll need them throughout the course of the day. And maybe a light jacket. We're in the 50s here this morning, but here's the good news. You won't need that jacket very long throughout the day today as we warm quickly. Mid-70s already by the noon hour, low 80s by 6 p.m. with skies that'll be mostly sunny. Small shower chance overnight tonight into Friday with a spot storm Friday afternoon possibility as well at 80 degrees. And then there's that spot storm chance Saturday and Sunday, but nothing to cancel plans over. They would be about a 20% chance of an isolated storm. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies. So all in all, your Labor Day weekend, pretty nice with temperatures around 80 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. And thank you for joining us. We'll be back in 25 minutes and all throughout Good Morning America with local news, weather, and of course, traffic updates.
And remember, all your news throughout the day can be found on the RTV6 app. We will leave you here with a gorgeous shot on your Thursday morning. This is a look from IMS Pagoda. We hope you have a great rest of your day. And thanks